The island of Newfoundland is part of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. Labrador sits across the Gulf of St. Lawrence from Newfoundland's northwest coast. We plan to visit to Labrador's southeast coast for 3 nights. To do that, we had to take another ferry. This 1-hour, 45-minute trip would leave us St. Barb. After spending the night at the nearby RV park, we made our way to the terminal for our 10:30 a.m. ferry. We had made reservations, and the check-in was simple. While it is possible to travel without a reservation, we knew that some had been filled to capacity in recent days, so we didn't want to take a chance that we couldn't board. We pulled into line about 90 minutes before departure, and then settled in to wait for the ferry to arrive, unload, and our row to be called.
It's 10 o'clock and just started loading our group of cars. The outer row seems to be going in first. We might be in the middle. Including the guy who waited, the RV that waited last night. He's probably on the wait list, I guess. Yeah.
Straight.
Yes, I think so. Everybody is on board. Oh yeah. If it's nippy here, wait till we start moving. Labrador, here we come.
The ship had a cafeteria, a gift shop, and several places to sit for the ride. Given the chilly temperatures and the wind, not many were spending their crossing out on deck. The ferry's passengers were a mix of tourists like us, locals going back and forth, commercial transports, and others with business in Labrador.
We're coming into Labrador, and pretty close to the harbor are some icebergs. It feels like iceberg weather today, so that's pretty appropriate. So as we come into Blanc-Sablon, we're going to be going just a little bit up to Red Bay, back, very short distances. But in the event of the strike that keeps us stranded on Newfoundland and we take this ferry home, we have to go up here and all the way back through Labrador to get to Quebec and then into the U.S.
We disembarked at the dock in Blanc-Sablon, which is actually in Quebec, just south of the Labrador border. This was most significant for the fact that Quebec is on Eastern Time and Labrador is on Newfoundland time an hour and a half later. This would be a consideration as we made our way back. For now, we were headed north. We made a stop for groceries and the wind was blowing so hard, we had to be sure to get out on the leeward, that is the downwind side of the van.
The wind is howling.
Our destination was Pinware River Provincial Park. We had a pull-through site by the beach without service. The view was great, but it was not going to be beach weather while we were here. One of the campsites was still unusual because it was buried in snow. We took some walks to explore and meet some of our neighbors, some of which were four-legged, but we decided to wait to take showers since the comfort station was a significant distance from the campground back of the park entrance, which was also where the Wi-Fi was located.
That's not good. That's not good behavior.
The next day, we headed up the coast to Red Bay. The day's weather made us look to stay indoors, with cold, rain, and wind making for a dreary day outside. Red Bay was the site of a Basque whaling station in the 1500s, discovered again in the 1970s. The Basque would fill their ships with whale oil from thousands of bowhead and right whales that were easy prey as they passed through the narrow strait. This would provide 80% of the fuel to light Europe during the decades that this industry thrived here. Their efforts would decimate the whale population, which was only saved by the defeat of the Spanish Armada, having destroyed many of the ships that would cross each year. Down the hill from the National Historic Site, the town had a museum explaining how the site had come to be discovered and excavated, along with a full-size whale skeleton recreated from the thousands of 500-year-old whale bones discarded in the area. We decided to warm up with a meal at the restaurant in town before heading back to our campsite.
So this model is very unique. It's got the fisherman on top, and all you see on one level of the model is the fisherman and the ocean, but below it is the whale. Very interesting the way that they did that.
The next day's forecast seemed a little better, and we were headed to the Point Amour Lighthouse. The lighthouse is the second tallest on Canada's east coast, and the guide gave us an excellent overview before we climbed the 132 stairs to the top of the light.
Here we go, in the last little bit. Well, it's turning into a much nicer day than I thought it was going to be. There's even some sun.
Oh, it's bright. Oh, it's on already.
Oh wow, this is a much nicer view than I was thinking we'd get on such a cloudy day. We told to look at the gargoyles, so let's see if we can see that guy. He's really hard to see between the glass and the... So according to the guide, we are a year too late to see the last electric light, or incandescent light, excuse me, or mercury vapor. I don't know. Anyway, this is LED. It was put in last year. So. Very bright.
The exhibits in the keeper's quarters at the base of the light showed the lighthouse construction, with the brick being clad by wood siding to protect the mortar from degradation by the salt. As well, there were many exhibits telling the story of the area, the importance of these waters to navigation in general, and the tragedies of shipwrecks that happened in spite of the warning beacon.
The electric light, which operated for probably 60 years, had 4 bulbs, one of which was used and the other were spare. And when the one bulb burnt out, the next one rotated into place and took its place.
We took a walk to a nearby shipwreck of the HMS Raleigh, which had run aground, losing 11 sailors during the incident. Leaving the lighthouse, we weren't sure where we would spend the night, but fate would intervene to give us a great answer.
So this free no services park, they asked for a donation, but it's obviously within sight of the ferry, and we'll make for a short run tomorrow since we have to get up early, and it's much less risk of fog or whatever getting in the way of our travel over there. So we feel like we really had been blessed with some great advice from a random stranger who we asked about where could we stay for the night. So these rocky cliffs were the source of an avalanche that actually killed some people who used to live in a row of houses on this used to be a street called Good Child, and now it's Park Good Child. It's in memory of those who lost their lives, and the residents eventually moved because of the dangers of that. So in our park at Good Child, there's a resident groundhog who is hiding in the reeds back there. I think he wants to go back to his burrow, but I'm in the way, so I'll get out of his way and let him go. It says it's 4:40 local time, but it's actually 6 o'clock Newfoundland time, and that's what time we decided to head towards the ferry, which is leaving at 8 o'clock Newfoundland time. So it's starting off to be a pretty but gusty day, so it might be a nice ferry crossing. It might be a little rough, it's hard to tell. At any rate, we will be back in Newfoundland later today, and on to more sights there. Labrador has been interesting, cold at times, but certainly lots of pretty sights to see, so glad we came. There's already a fair number of people down there. Since the ferry spent the night here, it's already on the dock, and the bow is already lifted, but it's not ready to board yet. It's a little early. I think we're an hour and a half early. It's been 3 days, and the icebergs in the harbor have shrunk considerably. This is the Wasilla breakfast on board the ferry.
Arriving just after noon on the 19th, we were on our way to Greenpoint Campground in Gros Morne. Coincidentally, or maybe not, the first day of Canada's Strong Pass, giving free admission to all its national parks for the summer. This site would allow us to explore more of Gros Morne north of the Tablelands.